What's going on, people? Hope y'all doing fantastic. A few weeks ago, I was in Walmart getting a couple things, and I needed to pick up a new coffee mug. So I went down the coffee mug aisle, and I just started browsing, and there was one that stuck out. So I picked it up, and this is what it says. This is what it says on it. It says Chaos Coordinator, if you can see that. So I said, oh, that's fitting. So what is a chaos coordinator? So I just, I looked it up. So make sure I was on point. So it says, I got another page over here that you can't see. It says chaos coordinator, someone who does precision guesswork based on unreliable data provided by those of questionable knowledge. Welcome to trucking. Woo! Welcome to trucking. And for you see the gray hair. I try to keep it low, but you see the gray hair. I used to um, I used to be in partnership in a restaurant, and then unreliable data, and then I was also on a management team at a skating rink, managing a bunch of teenagers. Yeah, this right here, chaos coordinator. Fast forward to 2000, what is it? 2020, trucking chaos coordinator. And leading up to this, so it has been commonly reported that I keep seeing these posts and messages and stuff like that about how brokers, freight brokers, are some freight brokers, I don't know about all of them, but I'll just say a handful of freight brokers are taking upwards of 50 to 70% of a tender load from a shipper. So that means, let's say shipper is paying $1,000 to this freight broker, and the broker is taking somewhere between $500 to $700 and giving the truck $300, which is pittance. Is what? Pittance. What's pittance, brother, man? Got it pulled up here. Let me go back. Oh, it went away. Oh, hold on a second. Pittance definition: a very small or inadequate amount of money paid to someone as an allowance or wage. Pittance. That's what pittance is. So I was thinking, and I'm watching, different content on different strategies on how to combat this thing for the independent trucker, because we're not represented by the ATA, the American Trucking Association. So how can our voice, the independent truckers, that as they classify us as a small fleet, I wouldn't even call it a fleet, just independents, with, I think they classify us as 6 trucks or less. I think that's what it is. Maybe 6, maybe 7, whatever that number is, maybe 10, whatever. Um, but how can we get our voice heard to where these brokers can, start paying us a fair wage for our services? I understand that they're in business, they're a service business to, you know, do all the grunt work, for the shipper and everything like that, and then to find the source a truck to move the freight. I get all that. I have no problem with that. It's a service. Um, but some of these people, they're going too far with this, with the race right now. Yeah, I understand supply and demand and everything like that, but it all comes down to never let a good crisis go to waste. So, they're trying to fatten their pocket. Good. I hope you fatten your pocket. So going back to what I was saying, so I'm seeing a couple different strategies on how to combat this thing. I've seen or I've heard the one strategy. I was watching something for a little bit, and we need to go to Congress, and we need to get on Capitol Hill and get lobbyists. Okay, I mean, just my opinion. Yeah, that sounds good, but those people are way out of our league. It's those people way out of our league. To me, nah, it's going to take too long to, by that time we'll be out of business, um, or going out of business. Then I saw another strategy when somebody was talking about going to the news media. Yes and no. You have to be very careful with that because, as you can see, what they're doing with the president, he will say one thing and then they will completely spin it to something totally different than what he said. So, right now, everybody's reporting the same thing. You got to understand how the news media works. And the major news outlets, they're all owned by the same people, just a different name. Um, so, if you want to go that route, I'm just saying I don't want no parts of that one. You got to be careful because they will take what you say. Let's say you go to the news media and you don't have a live interview. Let's say you have a recorded, like a recorded interview where, once you say your good intentions, you go ahead and explain what's going on. Yeah, we're independent truckers and, the freight brokers are, um, taking the lion's share of, what the trucker's supposed to be paid because we got expenses and stuff like that. And if our truck, if we can't, um, if we when we can't operate on those type of numbers, we're going to have to shut it down, and then the stores are going to suffer, and then the people's going to suffer, and stuff like that. Well, this is where the news media. Oh, okay, how they'll go into the room and they'll be at the board. Okay, how can we spin this story? We'll be the first one to spin this story. Okay, let me see. How can we spin this? Okay, let's sound bite him. Let's chop his audio up and then try to blend it together. Yeah, we're going out of business because we want the people to suffer because the freight brokers are whatever. They who knows what they'll come up with. And this is how the news media works. And I know this firsthand. There was a situation a couple years ago that happened in a little small town I was in. This situation happened with this person I knew, and he was a witness to the situation. And the news media came out, and the news media interviewed the person, my friend, and he said, he told him what happened. Well, once it hit the news, it was like, I didn't say that. And there was something else happened, unrelated, but they tried to tie it into the whatever incident, the incident that happened. He was like, I didn't say that. I say, that's why you don't talk to the media. No, don't talk, not unless it's a live interview. But the news media thing, I don't think that will work, especially during this time, like I said, because they're going to look for any way to spin this thing, and and they're going to try to make it, because a lot of the trucking companies and the freight brokers, they're intertwined, they're part of the ATA and all that, so they're going to make it look like they're the victim. So that's that. So, all right, brother man, we got to bring you out the mug. All right, chaos coordinator. I already made a post on Facebook. So what we have to do, my opinion, what we have to do, you got to get the message out directly to the people. However that's going to be. Facebook, YouTube, handing out flyers, get the message out directly to the people. Forget these third-party contracts. It's like a broker. Let's say you want to load from the shipper. Well, you don't go directly to the shipper, you go to the broker. So the broker is going to dictate what he's going to give you. You get what I'm saying? So just go directly to the people. Same way when you go into Congress and everything, all that stuff. Go directly to the people, because they're gonna say, okay, well, how can see the hands here? How can we get in on this? What's in it for us? Go directly to the people. So as I was saying, I already put a post out on Facebook, a paid post, saying the ad's down right now. Well, it's a review, but I don't have it on the screen. Just letting you know, whoever it goes see, if the public sees it, this is what's going on with the trucking. These freight brokers are taking 70%, up to upwards of 70% of the tendered load, and it's costing truckers more to run their truck than what they're getting paid for these loads. And I just made a post, and I paid money to get it out there. So I mean, that's one thing we gotta have. If you're on board with that, that's what you're gonna have to start doing. I mean, if there's no coalition or anything like that, just get the message out to the people. Now, for the and I can come up with the whole list because I was in the marketing too. That's part of one of the things I do. I just don't do it all the time. It's just it has to make sense, when you do it, and it's time consuming. But and another thing you can do, let's say you're calling on the load, right? You on your that I got a video coming for you too. I got a video coming for you too because we're supposed to be business partners. They give me affiliate money if I send people over there. I have a video coming for you too. So here's what you do. Let's say you see a load on wherever on the load board, and good and well this load pays. It pays. Let's just say $1,000. Whatever, doesn't matter where it's going. Whatever, it pays $1,000, and this. Been that consistently. Now all of a sudden, the freight broker is saying it's only paying 300. Might be able to get you 350. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? You call the freight broker, you get that rate, right? You may even have it posted. You get the rate. You say, okay, you hang up. You call them right back. Hey, I'm calling on this load. Didn't I just talk to you? You sure? I don't know. Yeah, I was paying 350. Oh, okay. Hang up. Call them right back again. And just keep calling them. What else you got better to do? Make them work for their money. Keep their line tied up. So, and that way, if they block your number, find another number. Keep calling them. If it goes right to voicemail, load the voicemail up to where it's full, where they can't receive any more messages. Make them work for it. That's the way. Look, chaos coordinator. This is why I got my own numbers on the side of my truck. Now it's time to get down to business. Forget all this, let's hold hands and doing all that stuff. No, this is war. It's survival. So now it's time to survive. So now it's time to, pull out your artillery, all the guerrilla marketing, whatever you want, tactics or whatever you want to call it. If you want to put signs on your truck, a freight bro. I saw that on Facebook. I saw a truck. Make up some ugly signs, put them on the back of your truck or whatever. Start handing out flyers. Park your truck at the grocery store. And talk to people. Hey, I run this truck. Well, I mean, that's a little extreme. With the mega, if I run this truck and the freight brokers are, making it, then, I mean, that's just, it may work, but you get what I'm saying. You get the gist of you, and I'm not gaslighting you either. I mean, because I already started with the Facebook post, so I might do something else too, and just keep on going. We just need to get the message out there to the people, and that's the problem with the farming industry too, is they rely on the third party to sell their products instead of going directly to the consumer. So, I mean, some small farmers are doing that, but that's why, there's milk and stuff and crops and everything else being wasted because they're waiting on this third party. And well, one of the reasons they're waiting on this third party, but if you go directly to the consumer, you eliminate all that. That's all. I was going to say something else, but that's all. A little bit long for this video. So, hey, take what you want out of it. That's just my opinion.